Hello and welcome to the Mid-Ohio Valley Public Forum video podcast. I'm Jennifer Bryant.
And I'm Kim Van Ryn.
And we're your co-hosts. The pandemic has changed life quite a bit in our country.
And this is an election year, so candidates have not been able to campaign the way they normally would. We're doing these podcasts and we hope they will help voters to make more informed decisions at the polls.
Our podcasts are available on multiple platforms, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, or by searching Spotify or your favorite podcast outlet. Election day is just around the corner though, so better hurry. Early voting begins on Wednesday, October 21st and runs through the 31st. Then the last day to vote, Election Day, Tuesday, November 3rd. Make sure you get to the polls.
Today we're interviewing Sherry Dugan. Sherry is a candidate for Mayor of Parkersburg. Welcome, Sherry. We're so glad you could join us this afternoon on the telephone. Thanks for coming.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll take just a minute for those who missed our primary interview with you, which we're going to link down in the comments, and give us a short introduction on who Sherry Dugan is and tell us why you decided to run for mayor.
Well, I have been a business owner in Parkersburg for 44 years. I own Das House. I've been involved in a lot of different organizations, which leads me into getting into the politics and the mayor. My family was very politically involved, and I've been involved in a lot of different organizations that I think will help in running the city and being part of it. And most of them were also in leadership roles. So I'm really looking forward to this and being positive. Think I'm going to do a great job.
Well, Sherry, we take for granted that you're running for mayor in order to benefit the people in the city of Parkersburg. So tell us what you see as the three largest issues facing the city right now.
Well, probably the three largest would be a financial responsibility to the citizens and an openness with the citizens and the city employees. Obviously the drug issue and the homelessness is a big issue. And part of, I think, is in the third one would probably have to be listening to the citizens, listening to our employees, our rank and file employees. We have a lot of good employees who have lots of great ideas, have been with the city for quite some time, and we should listen to them and we should be open. We need to listen to our citizens and our constituents. They have concerns, and even if the mayor's office can't actually address it, but they can put them in the right direction as to where they can possibly come to some conclusion with their issues. The financial responsibility, I believe in an openness. I highly advocate that when council does their budget hearings, that they should really do a line-by-line budget. Even though the administration prepares the budget, I want council to be going line by line and questioning things. We may have missed something. We may have put something in there that we don't really necessarily need. We need to be financially responsible to the citizens and to the city. So I highly advocate a line by line budget process. And what else? Let's see, I talked about the financial. I talked about the rank and file and the citizens and being open with all the drugs. We all know that's a major issue, and which also leads to some of the homelessness. I think there's a lot of different things we can do to work with the drug problem. I firmly believe that having centers, rehab centers, is a great idea. I just would be very cautious if there's not an exit strategy for those who do not fulfill their obligations to complete the program. That's part of our homeless problem. We have people that go into these rehab centers and do not necessarily complete them, and then they're back out on our streets. I highly advocate sending them home or having a way to get them back to their hometowns, and that would help alleviate some of the homelessness. And I also think we need to take a harder stand on some of the drug issues. instead of turning a blind eye, as seems to have been done over the years with, the police. I mean, I know their hands are tied up to a point, but I also think we could take a stronger stance and help get some of the drugs off of the streets.
Well, it sounds like you've outlined some big, heavy problems. You want to go into maybe some of your plans on how to address those, or tell us some other issues you think need to be addressed?
Well, the financial issue, I think that's pretty simple to address. I mean, if the city council goes line item by line item like we did when I was on council, and it may take, a number of hearings, and sometimes a Saturday you're there for 5 or 6 hours, but to be financially responsible to the citizens of Parkersburg, we need to know exactly where every penny is going. And we need to be open with the citizens of Parkersburg. So that's fairly easy to do. It's just time heavy. And there has been some people in the public express, they don't understand. I mean, because when you look at the budget sometimes, I remember when I was on council, the explanations in the budget hearings were usually a paragraph or 2 paragraphs, and it was very detailed. And this particular administration, the explanations have been maybe 4, 5, 6 words, or maybe a whole sentence. And it's very difficult to read between the lines as to where that money is actually going. So I think we need to be more open and more detailed in our explanations of what's going on in the budget. As far as the drugs, like I said, I really think our police and firefighters and EMTs, I mean, there's got to be a way. I'm not quite sure. I think we all need to sit down and put our heads together, but figure out a way where we can actually try to resolve some of the drug issues that are coming into Parkersburg. I mean, I know they're coming in from other cities, out of state, and they're following the drugs, and then they get into rehab, and if they don't make it, then we run into a problem where they're back on the streets. So I think it's going to take some time. It may not happen the first year, but I think if we all work together, we can find a solution to this problem and start working towards having Parkersburg, the city that I grew up in, where you could go out and enjoy yourself and go to the city park. And, it was paradise as a kid. You could walk the streets and you could have fun. So, I mean, I would love to see that come back, where people felt safe in their neighborhoods. And then, let's see, that was the homeless and the financial. Now, what was the other one? I should know.
I think you hit them all.
I think I hit them all, didn't I?
So, Sherry, voters often don't get the opportunity to personally meet the candidates, especially this year with the pandemic. So we'd like to take a couple of minutes and ask you a few questions, and we'd like you to answer them as Sherry Dugan, the person, not Sherry Dugan, the candidate.
Okay, but I kind of thought they were the same, aren't they?
Well, one exists without the other doesn't.
That's true.
What would you say you're most passionate about?
Probably, I've been involved and volunteered in a slew of organizations over the years, and I enjoy doing that. I mean, I started off with the Parkersburg area JCs and went all the way to be a national vice president for the U.S. JCs. It actually was the first female to run for national president. And the JCs do a lot of programs in their own communities, and each community is different. I think that's why I like them so much. And I was also an exalted ruler at the Parkersburg Elks Lodge, the first female. And I've been involved in Altrusa. I was president of the Parkersburg Junior League. I've been involved in, just homecoming. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy helping people. So I think with that attitude, I know this is a personal thing, but as a mayor, I would be interested in paying attention to all those things and see. And I have no problem with people working together. So I think that would be marvelous. And we could work together getting some things done, whether it's for the city or whether it's for them. So, I just enjoy doing that.
Well, Sherry, What qualities do you most value in the people around you?
Honesty. I think people need to be honest, and I think they need to work together. I think there's just so many problems in the world that if we're honest and we work together, we can come to a solution. We may not agree on everything, but we can sit down and discuss it, and we can come to some sort of a solution that's best for whatever the project is, or whether it's the city, or whether it's my business, or whatever it is. I think we need to communicate better.
Well, it doesn't sound like you have much of this, but what do you like doing in your off time?
Off time. Well, actually, I'm not quite sure what off time is. I'm still helping take care of my 90-year-old mother and running the business and all the volunteer. I guess honestly, my off time is my volunteerism. I enjoy going to meetings. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy working with different things. So, if I really have some off time, I would like to, if I had some, I'd like to sit down and read a good book for a change, but I'm running in 12 different directions all the time. So, little things like that. I enjoy being around people. I enjoy working with people.
Well, with that, we've come to the end. We'd like to give you a few minutes to tell us and the voters anything else you think we need to know, including how to get more information on your campaign, how to find your website or Facebook page, get in touch with you, donate, get a yard sign, etc.
Well, real simple. You can go Sherry Dugan for elect Sherry Dugan for mayor. That would be perfect. On Facebook, that's no problem. My phone number is 304-482-4861. Anybody needs to call me, that would be great. I would love to talk to them. Just anything, any questions. I just want to be involved, and if anybody needs any signs, even though we're getting closer and closer to the election, we've got a few left, and I'd be glad to bring them over to you. So anytime anybody wants to get a hold of me, please don't hesitate.
All right. Well, thank you, Sherry. We certainly appreciate you taking the time to talk to us this afternoon, and we wish you the best of luck on your campaign. Everyone?
No problem, and thank you all for having this.
You're welcome. Everyone, stay safe and wash your hands.